Greetings, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of In the Balance. I'm Corinne McKay. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks as always to Andrew for inviting me to present this series. And thank you all so much for your responses to episode 2 on I can't versus I won't, or I choose not to. I really enjoyed reading them and seeing all of the ways that you are going to take charge of your priorities in life. Because I think that's what this series is all about. So let's remember the 2 goals of the In the Balance series. You want to say them with me? That's right, fulfillment and no regrets. So we're trying to feel fulfilled in the moment, and we're going to try to have no regrets, or at least as few regrets as possible about life in general. So in today's episode, as promised, we're going to talk about the importance of positive habits. So it seems like negative habits are really easy to form, right? Whether it's coping with stress by eating or drinking or smoking, or sitting at our desk for 14 hours a day without getting up, negative habits seem really easy to ingrain in ourselves. So how are we going to defeat those and do things in a better way? I could probably talk about that for a whole day. Actually, that's a good topic for a conference presentation. But let's take a bite out of it by focusing on 3 things. Starting your day in a positive way, focusing on what matters to you, and overcoming negative thought spirals. Here we go. Number 1. So a while ago, I realized that here's how my typical weekday started. Set the alarm for 6:30, lay in bed refusing to get up until 7, which is when I wake my daughter up for school, so I have to get up, then flipping on the radio news and checking email on my iPod. And as you can guess, at that point, the tone for the day was set, and not a good one. I feel behind, I'm stressed when I've been awake for 10 minutes, I feel sort of out of control of the day, and it's 7 in the morning, which isn't good. So here's the positive habit that I've tried to adopt. My alarm goes off at 6:30 and I get up right away and just go jump in the shower. So I can wake up in the shower, but at least I'm awake. Then instead of listening to the radio and checking my email, I write in my 5-minute journal. This is it. It's a little book that literally takes you 5 minutes to fill out every day. And you write things like what you're grateful for on that day, what would make that day turn out well, a positive statement that you want to write about yourself, stuff like that. And I don't turn on the radio news, and I don't look at my email until maybe 7:30. So I've had an hour of my day to set a really positive, calm tone, and I find that makes a huge difference. Positive habit 2. Let's try focusing on what matters to you. So for me, at least, a big work-life breakthrough was realizing that I have zero control over what gets thrown at me in the course of my day. So with my regular work, the American Translators Association, classes I teach, my family, my non-work life, that's a lot of stuff, and I can't control it at all. But I can completely control what I focus on or what I make a priority. That's sort of like the can't versus choose not to topic that we talked about last week. So for me, it might be whether someone can't download the app for the ATA conference, a student needs help with a cover letter they want to send to an important client, one of my own translation clients has an emergency, or a friend asks if I can watch their kids or give them a ride someplace. I try to really ask myself, is this a priority? Is this a priority right now? And just feeling that I'm making that choice is a huge help, and I find a very positive habit rather than feeling like, now here's this thing that someone is making me do. 3. Let's decide that we're all going to work together on overcoming negative thought spirals. So here's an example of a negative thought spiral. When you think to yourself, oh my gosh, that client that I sent the new project to the other day, they never responded. That probably means that they hated it. I knew it was going to be a disaster. Why am I even doing this job? So you can go ahead and laugh, but I bet all of us have felt that way at one time or another. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to stop those negative thought spirals in their tracks using a couple techniques, and you can pick the one you think would work best for you. First, you could ask yourself, am I thinking about something I can control or something I can't control? And if I can't control it, I don't need to think about it. Or you could ask, is there a way I can handle this more constructively? So for example, a lot of you know that I play the lute. And my lute teacher told me that when I'm playing with other people and I make a mistake, I should just say to myself, mistakes don't bother me because I'm here to improve. My goal isn't to be perfect, it's to improve. Or three, this isn't really a technique, but you could try to refocus your thoughts on something neutral, like the wind outside your office window, or the feeling of your feet on the floor, or the smell of the coffee that you're drinking. And do that until you don't feel so gripped by the negative thought spiral anymore. So here's one more positive habit I can't resist mentioning. Indulge your big crazy dreams. Just do it. Because you know what? Those big crazy dreams, sometimes they're what keeps you going. So my big crazy dream is to go to music school in Italy when my daughter goes to college. There, I said it. Maybe it'll happen. So audience participation time. Take one of the 3 positive habits we've talked about, starting your day in a positive way, focusing on what matters to you, or overcoming a negative thought spiral, or indulging a big crazy dream. And tell us in the comments how you're going to work on it, and we'll all share comments and ideas with each other. I'll be back with episode 4 in 2 weeks, and we're going to talk about dealing with low moments. So as positive as all of us try to be, there are going to be low moments, so let's just talk about how to deal with them. And a standing out member, Teresa, sent me a really good tip for that idea, so I'm looking forward to talking about it. Thanks, and see you in 2 weeks.